And now Arieli Capital strives to bring a fresh, high-value approach to the technology investment ecosystem. And so joining us now with more is Or Haviv, a senior partner and head of the innovation arm at Arieli Capital. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So first of all, what can you tell us about Arieli Capital?
Arieli Capital is a very exciting thing happening within the investment ecosystem. It's family offices that are multi-generation investors into technology companies from New York and from Israel that came together with a holistic approach and said that basically technology companies need more than capital to grow. So we basically built an entire ecosystem of innovation platforms to add additional value. You know the famous saying, it takes a village to grow a child. So that's our take on the capital side. It takes a village to grow a technology company.
Sounds great. So can you tell us a little bit about what are you looking for when you're examining a prospect investment?
Sure. So there are the obvious characteristics when you look at a technology company. You want to make sure there's a solid team with the relevant experience to take the company forward. You want to make sure that there is a very big market so you can really have a projected growth for the company. But another thing that is very important for Arieli is the impact. We really want to make sure that these companies are going to do good for the world and help humanity move yet another step forward.
Cool. So impact, team, right? Mm-hmm. And what kind of an investment have you done so far? What is your portfolio comprised of?
So I think that speaking about impact, I would like to start with one of our latest investments into a fund, actually, called NGT, which is an amazing fund for biotech and health. Already made 23 investments, looking to make another 25 investments in the companies that are from that sector. Just closed a $100 million fund with our help as well. And Arieli is going to be a general partner at this amazing fund. And NGT, in addition to doing all these amazing investments in healthcare, which is impact on itself, is actually an incubator, a technology incubator approved and backed by the Israel Innovation Authority. And they have a secret sauce about unifying and combining the weaker parts or the minority parts of the population, which is basically the underrepresented parts, right? So you have Arab and you have Jewish in Israel, and it's very important to bring together all these communities, basically to make sure we have a secure future for the high-tech sector.
I mean, you mentioned impact and you mentioned, the healthcare industry, but are there any other promising sectors that you're looking into at the moment?
Sure, it's a very good question. Agri-tech and food tech are very strong sectors. The world today is experiencing changing climates. That is affecting yield and productivity of the ground. Many countries that had it good up until now are suffering and are experiencing up to 20% reduction in yield. And I think that we all understand and agree that the first thing we can never give up is food. Right after air, we need food.
By the way, Lidar, I'm carrying with me always this pin that I bought at a UN building in New York, which represent the Sustainable Development Goals. And what you mentioned, which is food security, is one of the pillars of the the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Yep. So I think it's very important for investors like yourself to allocate their capital to invest also in projects that advance those SDGs.
For that point exactly, Arieli Capital joined together with an inspiring region and a project called Ramat HaNegev, which represents its regional council, and they have an R&D center focusing on agriculture bordering desert conditions. It's about 60, 70 years old R&D center, so one of the first and most experienced in desert agriculture. And Ramat HaNegev, together with Arieli Capital, formed Frontier, which is the innovation center dedicated to promoting technologies that will be able to help humanity secure the food of the future, even in changing climates.
Back to the basics in food security. Or Haviv, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Unicorn TV is brought to you by Simetria. Simetria offers ongoing liquidity management to attract and retain the best talents. Give your team the benefit they desire and deserve and win the competition over talents with Simetria.